those magnificent men in their flying machines. They go up to the up, up, they go down to the up, down.
So I thought I'd start on the simplest bit of the plane, which is the stabiliser, or I call it tailplane, but people like to call it stabiliser, whatever. And I've ascertained mainly what it is. So today I was just going to show that the parts, for example, S2 and S3, so you've got these bits here, and they'll be going like in there, you know. But with these, the way this kit's designed, that little square you can see there, I don't know if you can see that little square, well, that needs to be cut out, and then you put the longer on bar in. And that's sort of like the strengthening bar. So again, that's not something I'm used to doing, but this is the way the kit is, so that's what we'll do for that. And then obviously as I go along, I'll keep them all in one space like I've done over there. So again, with it, as doing these plans, I've put a bit of cellophane over the top of the plan itself, so I can work on it when I'm gluing bits down, so it doesn't stick to the plan, obviously, things like that. Okay, right, so that's that bit. Now, what I shot today is, if bear with us, if I can move this camera around, and what I was intending to do here, you might not see it very well, but I'll zoom on that. Okay, so what I've been doing like today is a lot of the parts, unlike modern kits where you just pop them out, you know, because they're laser cut. These are these kits are literally just printed on, and you need to cut them out by hand, blade wise, or with a scroll saw, which I intend to do now. So I've done, obviously, I've concentrated on the tailplane, like I said, and I've got a last couple of pieces to do. So hopefully you'll see it on here. I'm not sure if it'll come up well, but we'll give it a go. So basically, you take your time. Well, that's good. So there you have that. So we basically, you know, then if need be, sand them to shape. You know, if you want to do that by hand or use a sander like I do. But you know, that's it. So you got to, and then if you're up for it, I mean, these can be quite tedious doing them because there is an awful lot of them. So I'm going to go by doing it bit by bit. So like, right. So when we'll just go back to that. So whilst we're on the stabiliser, there you go, that's perfect now, look at that. So I'm going to just concentrate on one part of the plane at a time, because normally I tend to build, if I've got the space, I'll build a bit of the fuse here, a bit of the tailplane and so forth. But with this project, I'm going to, because I want to do it a bit stage by stage to show one person. I have actually searched the Google, internet and everything, YouTube, to see if somebody else has actually built a camel. And there is a couple of sites on there where they've speeded it up, sort of thing, and put music to it, and there's no explanation. And there's one chap who actually built it, but he hasn't gone into detail. He's just sort of gone, there's the first bit, there's the second bit, which that's fair enough. But I thought, if somebody ever goes to, this is quite a challenging kit to make. You know, as of all the planes, like the Camel, I would say out of all the biplanes like the SE5A and the Pup, they're relatively a lot more easier to build than the Camel, because it's just set up differently, you know. That's how I find it anyway, because there's different parts to this, aspects to this build than I'm coming across that I haven't before. So, you know, it's quite interesting in one way, but frustrating in another. So, as I go along, I'm actually working it out, you know, bit by bit. Okay, so anyway, so the next stage will be now, once I've I'm going to cut all the length for the long runs and stuff like that, and I don't want to bore you to tears with that. So that's my next stage, and then I will then do a video of me gluing it all in place so you can see what's what. And also where I'm going to add extra pieces across for the rigging, to allow the rigging, because obviously I won't show you on the plan. You know, so I like to do stuff like that. I'll try to, for example, I don't make anyone ill with this, but if you can see up there with on the SC5A, roughly up here, this here and here, there's pieces I've put in there, in that bit there, to allow it to have the rigging in, because they're not on the plan. But if you look at the photographs and all that, you know, you want to get an idea of the rigging to make it somewhat realistic, then that's what I tend to do. It's not necessarily, I mean, if you just want to build it to fly it and get it off and enjoy the flying of it, then don't bother. You know, it just depends how in-depth detail you want to make with the plane and it's done. And like I said, this is 1/6 scale, so, you know, quarter scale, then you would have a lot more easier for me, I find, to make it, you know, more detail on it, because of bigger parts to make. But as it gets smaller, as you're aware, things are smaller to make and harder, difficult. But that's the fun of the game. Okay, so we're still on the stabiliser, or tailplanes I call it. The reason I got a picture of the real, this is the real plane, the Shuttleworth collection, right? I'll try and get my finger on it. Right, you see here, you've got the rigging bars now. There, your rigging wires, okay, on there. So what I've done is I've got the pictures, plenty of pictures when I went to the Shuttleworth to get all this plane. For this main reason is to get as much detail, authentic detail as possible on it. So obviously that's the real one. So if I pan over now, and here we have the stabiliser here, or tailplane. And that looks rough at the moment, at least sound its shape. So anyway, it's more or less complete to the actual plan. Unfortunately, a lot of the bits of the wood are missing. These bits were missing, and the inner struts, the wood was too rotten. It's an old kit, so I've had to form them out of spare bolts that I've had. Anyway, so as it's not, as you can see, if I go a bit closer, these bits here, these are not on the plan at all. These are the extras that I've put in to allow for that rigging. So when you cover it all, you've got a piece to drill through the hole, a bit of hard bolster there, drill the hole through each, that one, and so forth, that one, which is positioned in the wing as it showed on the picture, so you can put your rigging wire through. You know, that's what it's allowed. So anyway, I've left one little bit because I did say I was going to do this, so bear with me. Don't try not to get too seasick with the camera. I'll try and put it back on. I'm not used to this one. How does he do this? Right, it's on. Okay, so I'll try and zoom in if I can on the bit I'm on about. Right, I'll take one off to do this. Right, I'm in a limited space. Right, I think that's about the best I can get it. Right, okay, right. So the bit I'm concentrating to show you how this is more or less how it's all done. Right, I'll concentrate on this piece here. Hopefully the camera will pick it up. So what I tend to do is, obviously it's all the same sort of setup. So you use the guide on the map, on the plan even, right, and you just mark it there and there. Get your ruler. I'll keep it in the camera, I don't want it. And you draw your line down there, like so. Okay, and then either cut it with a blade or with a jigsaw. So I've done, here's one I made earlier. So the one I made earlier, you get a bit of this. And this is, I might add, this is for the same for all the strengthening points around the actual tailplane. Okay, and that goes like so. Nice fit, if you can get it in there, it fit nice. Give you a bit of time for this. Okay. What I tend to do is a bit of fix it so it's on. Okay, now there's a piece here. Again, I've had to I didn't have enough of this, so I've had to use pieces of old strip wood that I made, and then just use the original piece and cut it to size. So okay, and it's the same thing basically all the way in. Sand a bit on the edge, so you've got that corner. It doesn't really matter because it's there anyway. See, like that, you get that. Use a pencil. And this is again, like I say, this is the same. You do the same for all of the inserts, right? All the ribs and that. Okay, so you've got your mark there, and I use a jigsaw. You probably won't see it on the camera, but okay. Right. I'll try using the right bit with that, wouldn't it? That's so you got it there, right? Okay, not too bad. Sand it a bit. Okay, well there you have it. So you have that in there. You know it's nice now. So you just go super glue like so. Smooth it in. Okay, and a bit of fixative. Right. So that's basically what I did there. Is you follow suit for everything else that you've done. Okay. So if I look, just setting the camera now, about jobbing it all around. So you got it in, so we'll zoom back out a bit. So yeah, I'm getting used to this. So now the main thing is now is I've made it all in one here. Okay, on that end, probably better to show you. So what I do is now is I'll take it all off everything you need's on there. You checked it all. Because obviously this is made in one. I've made it so that I'll cut it here. And obviously the same the other side. You don't have to mark it, you'll know where it is anyway once you take it off. So you've got a choice now. I tend to sometimes, preferably, sand it all to shape. You can either sand it all to shape with it on there, connected, or if you like, you can just cut it and then sand it to shape, whatever easier suits you. Sometimes I'll probably do this one all in one. And the idea with this one as well is we're trying to make the back end of the tail as light as possible, because it really is a top heavy plane. You really need it top heavy to get it flying properly. Quite a lot of weight up the front of the fuse. And I've checked a few online, chaps that have made them, and they have exactly that problem. But the awful lot of weight up front, just to you know, balance to get a CFG. So, but this is actually, compared to the sopwith pup that I've made and the SE5A, this one is rather really delicately light. So let's pull it off the thing. Okay. There you have it. So our next job is to sand it to shape, which I'm sure you know it's not a problem. It's a piece of block sandpaper will do it. That's what I use anyway. So, and then we'll get it nice and use the picture, like I said, as a guide as much as possible to get as much on it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So that's that. So the next stage after this, as I'll probably tackle now, the fuselage, because I believe there's a lot of parts out of the kit missing off that as well. So we'll have to tackle that as we come along. Okay, I hope that's helped anybody who's doing it. Have there any questions, or put a comment underneath. Okay, and we'll tackle that. Okay, so the next video I'll probably show you this all sanded to shape as a part of the video, you know, and basically that's it for now. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.
Those magnificent men, those magnificent men.